Have you ever asked yourself, why is my wallet empty, despite all my prayers and efforts? Why do your desires seem to dance just beyond your reach, no matter how desperately you yearn for financial freedom? This is the question that weighs heavy on the hearts of many, a silent struggle cloaked in frustration and quiet despair. You have spoken words of abundance, yet the coins refuse to multiply. You have visualized prosperity, yet the emptiness remains. Who is to blame for this unseen barrier? What invisible force blocks your path to wealth? And how can this endless cycle be broken, today, without waiting? These are the questions we must face, not with fear but with fearless inquiry. The answer lies in one divine law, ancient yet eternal, simple yet profound. The law of assumption. This law teaches that you must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Your inner state must align unwaveringly with the reality you seek. Your wallet remains empty, not because the world denies you, but because your mind is in silent resistance. You carry unseen resentments, doubts whispered in the quiet corners of your heart, and these are the true thieves of your abundance. Your word is your wand. To manifest wealth, you must bless what you desire, speak in faith, and release resistance. Say aloud with conviction, I bless the good I see, for it opens the way for mine. This simple phrase dissolves the blocks and invites the divine flow. Remember, abundance is not outside you, it is the reflection of your inner truth. When you shift your assumption, your wallet will no longer be empty. The power to fix this is within you. Here now, you are not out of money, you are out of assumption. The emptiness in your wallet is not the absence of wealth, but the absence of belief, a silent resistance that lives deep inside, unseen yet powerful. Have you ever asked yourself why, despite your prayers and desires, your financial reality remains unchanged? Why do you feel stuck, waiting, hoping, yet the flow of abundance seems halted? This is not a failure of the universe. It is a misalignment within your own consciousness. The law at the heart of your financial struggle is the law of assumption. What is this law? It teaches that what you assume to be true in your inner world must manifest in your outer world. Your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings create the blueprint for your reality. If you assume lack, scarcity, or emptiness, you cast a shadow that darkens your financial landscape. But if you hold steady in the assumption of abundance and prosperity, your external world must reflect that truth. Why do so many block this law without realizing it? Because they argue secretly with their desires. They speak affirmations but carry doubts. They seek wealth, yet secretly resent those who have it. This invisible argument cancels manifestation. The heart sends mixed signals to the divine flow, and the wallet remains empty. How do you shift into alignment? You bless your desires openly. You release resistance with the sacred phrase, I bless the good I see, for it opens the way for mine. Your word is your wand. Speak with conviction, not only of wealth, but of gratitude for what already is. This opens the door for your abundance to enter. I now assume abundance is flowing to me. I now assume abundance is flowing to me. I bless the prosperity around me. I bless the prosperity around me. My wallet opens with ease and grace. My wallet opens with ease and grace. I release all resistance to wealth. I release all resistance to wealth. Consider a woman burdened by bills and fear. Each month, the dread of empty accounts gnawed at her soul. She tried affirmations, but they felt hollow, her mind clouded by doubt. One day, she stopped fighting her fear and instead blessed the success she saw in others. I bless the good I see, she whispered daily. The shift was subtle, but undeniable. Opportunities began to appear, and with them, financial relief. The emptiness gave way to flow. You cannot attract what you secretly resent. Bless what you desire, or it will never draw near. Your resistance is the lock on your abundance's door. Break it with blessing. The power to change your wallet's story lies in your words and your heart's surrender. She feared poverty, but blessing was her turning point. The moment she embraced gratitude over judgment, the floodgates opened. What seemed like a coincidence was the divine law responding to her inner word. Your word is your wand, wield it wisely. Your financial freedom is not a distant dream, but a present reality waiting to be claimed. Align your assumption, bless your desires, and watch your wallet fill with the flow of divine abundance. Today is the day you shift. You feel stuck, as if no matter how hard you prepare, no matter how many prayers you send out, what you desire remains just out of reach? Why do you attract what you prepare for, yet still find yourself waiting? Why is it that your efforts feel like a drop in an ocean, lost in vast uncertainty? You are not lacking in potential, you are lacking in alignment. The universe does not answer chaos, it answers preparation. Your readiness to receive is the magnet that draws your desires to you. When you prepare your mind and spirit with clarity and belief, manifestation becomes inevitable. The divine law at work here is the law of preparation, the understanding that what you attract is directly linked to what you prepare yourself to receive. It is not merely wishing or hoping. It is the sacred act of aligning your inner state to match the reality you see. Preparation is not visible in the outer world immediately, but it shapes your vibrational signature in the unseen realms. You become a beacon for the blessings you seek. Why do so many block this law? Because preparation requires faith without seeing. It demands patience in the face of waiting, and courage in the presence of doubt. Often, people prepare superficially, repeating words without embodying them, wishing without doing the inner work. Resistance rises when fear whispers, "Not yet," or "You're not ready." This resistance disrupts the natural flow of manifestation. To shift into true alignment, begin by refining your vision with conviction. Visualize not just the outcome, but the person you must be to receive it. Speak your word with certainty. I am ready and worthy of all good. Prepare daily, in mind and heart, to welcome abundance as your natural state. I prepare my mind for abundance. I prepare my mind for abundance. I am worthy of all good things. I am worthy of all good things. My heart opens to receive blessings. My heart opens to receive blessings. I embody the vibration of success. I embody the vibration of success. Imagine a man who longed for success yet found himself in endless cycles of doubt. Each morning he repeated affirmations but returned to old patterns by nightfall. One day he committed not just to speaking words, but to becoming the version of himself who deserved success. He prepared his mind with study, his spirit with gratitude, his actions with purpose. The waiting period turned into a sacred season of growth. Opportunities began arriving not by chance but by invitation. Preparation had transformed his destiny. You attract what you prepare for. This is the sacred truth that separates fleeting dreams from lasting reality. Preparation creates the fertile soil in which manifestation takes root and flourishes. He prepared his soul, and success was no longer elusive. Preparation is not passive, it is active alignment. When you prepare in heart and mind, your desires do not just appear, they come rushing toward you. You have been conditioned to believe lack is a condition, but it is a conclusion drawn by the mind in resistance. Lack is a mental narrative, not a divine decree. It is the story told by fear, whispered by doubt, and echoed by impatience. You are not poor. You are out of rhythm with the abundance that is your birthright. The law of rhythm is the divine pulse that governs all manifestation. It teaches that abundance flows in cycles, and your role is to align with this natural flow rather than resist it. When you argue with the current, you exhaust yourself and repel blessings. When you surrender and flow, the universe responds with generosity. Why do people block this law? Because impatience breeds resistance, and resistance breeds lack. When you fight the natural rhythm of giving and receiving, you create a wall where there should be a door. The human mind wants control and certainty, but divine rhythm requires trust and surrender. To shift into alignment, practice non-resistance. Let go of the frantic push and learn the art of graceful receiving. Affirm, I flow with divine rhythm. I trust the perfect timing of abundance. This does not mean passivity but a confident embrace of the process. I surrender to divine rhythm. I surrender to divine rhythm. I trust the perfect timing of abundance. I trust the perfect timing of abundance. I release all resistance to my blessings. I release all resistance to my blessings. Abundance flows to me in perfect time. Abundance flows to me in perfect time. A woman exhausted from constant striving found no relief despite her efforts. Each setback deepened her frustration. But when she ceased fighting and began to flow with patience, blessings started to arrive unexpectedly. Doors opened, not by force, but by timing aligned with her surrender. Her story shifted from struggle to ease. You cannot force abundance. You must flow with its rhythm. Resistance is the greatest thief of manifestation. When you learn to dance with divine rhythm, your life transforms from scarcity to plenty. She fought the current, but surrender brought the tide in. The rhythm of life is your ally, not your enemy. The truth you seek is this: Lack is not your state, but your conclusion. Prepare your heart, flow with rhythm, and watch how the universe conspires to fulfill your every desire. You have been wrestling in silence, struggling with the invisible weight of doubt, questioning why your manifestations falter just beneath the surface of your conscious will. Why do your prayers seem to echo unanswered? Why does the vision you hold in your heart refuse to bloom in your life? You are not out of blessings, you are out of alignment. This truth is both a balm and a challenge. The flow of your desires depends not on what you chase, but on what you embody. The divine law at the core of this struggle is the law of assumption. It declares that what you assume to be true in your mind and heart forms the foundation of your reality. This law is absolute. Your outer world must mirror your inner beliefs. Yet so often, we sabotage this truth by harboring secret doubts, contradictions between our spoken word and our silent mind. We pray for abundance, yet deep inside, fear whispers scarcity. We speak of wealth, but secretly cling to old narratives of lack. Your word is your wand, but only when your heart wields it with unwavering faith. Why do people block this law? Because resistance is subtle. Often unconscious, fear plants seeds of doubt, impatience fans them into weakness. The mind debates what the heart desires, and the invisible argument disrupts the creative process. Manifestation is a sacred agreement between your conscious word and your subconscious acceptance. When these are at war, manifestation halts. How do you begin? By declaring your desires with unwavering assumption. Let your inner conversation match your spoken word. Speak slowly and clearly. I am worthy of abundance. I live in the feeling of my wish fulfilled. Bless your desires daily. Remember Florence's timeless phrase, your word is your wand. Wield it with deliberate faith. I now assume the life I desire is mine. I now assume the life I desire is mine. I release all doubts and fears. I release all doubts and fears. My heart is open to receive. My heart is open to receive. Abundance flows freely to me. Imagine a man who tried everything, affirmations, visualizations, rituals, but remained stuck in scarcity. His words proclaimed wealth, but his mind clung to old stories of limitation. One day he stopped fighting his doubts and began assuming prosperity as his reality, even before seeing it. This quiet surrender, this inner shift, transformed his experience. Opportunities appeared, and his wallet filled not by chance, but by law. You cannot possess what you secretly resent. Resistance is the greatest thief of your blessings. Bless what you desire, or it will never come near. The energy you send out returns to you. Gratitude opens doors. The shift begins in the heart that lets go of judgment and embraces possibility. She feared lack, but blessing was her turning point. When she released resentment and chose gratitude, her world changed. The divine law answered her surrender. Your word is your wand. Choose your spells wisely. You stand at a crossroads. Continue arguing with your desires, or bless them into being. The choice shapes your destiny. You have been exhausted, not by the work of manifesting, but by the resistance within. Spiritually drained, you wonder why your efforts fail. This fatigue is the silent cry of a soul at war with itself. You are not blocked, you are distracted by appearances. The true obstacle is your attention misplaced, your faith fractured. The divine law here is non-resist. It teaches that struggle repels your desires, while ease invites them. When you resist, you create barriers. When you surrender, you open the flow. This is not passivity, but the art of flowing with divine rhythm. Why do people block this law? Because the human mind craves control and certainty. Resistance is born from fear of the unknown, impatience with divine timing, and the illusion that effort alone creates results. Yet the universe responds to peace, not pressure. To shift, practice surrender, release the need to force outcomes. Affirm, I flow with divine timing. I release all resistance. Align your attention with what you desire, not with doubts or fears. I now surrender to the flow of life. I now surrender to the flow of life. Divine timing brings my blessings. Divine timing brings my blessings. I release all struggle and fight. I release all struggle and fight. Peace opens the door to abundance. Peace opens the door to abundance. A woman chased success relentlessly, each setback deepening her exhaustion. When she learned to stop fighting and begin flowing with divine rhythm, her fortunes changed. Doors opened not through struggle, but through surrender. Her energy shifted, and with it, her reality. You are not blocked. You are called to shift your focus from resistance to flow. Resistance is the thief of manifestation. Flow is your birthright. She fought the current, but surrender brought the tide in. Align with rhythm, and abundance becomes inevitable. Your spiritual exhaustion is a signal, not a stop sign. Listen, surrender, and rise anew. The power lies not in pushing harder, but in releasing and trust. The universe conspires with those who flow. You've been waiting for your breakthrough, but it feels like it's taking too long. You've prayed, you've worked, you've envisioned the life you want, but the silence in between your effort and your answer is deafening. And in that silence, doubt creeps in. Maybe it's not meant for me. Maybe I'm asking for too much. But what if the delay isn't a no from the universe? What if it's the divine rearranging everything for your good? You are not being ignored. You are being prepared. The promise is this. When you align with the law of divine timing, your blessings will arrive so perfectly you'll wonder why you ever doubted. The divine law here is the law of divine timing. It is the sacred principle that nothing you are meant to have will pass you by, and nothing will arrive before it can serve your highest good. What it is, divine timing is the alignment of your readiness with your desire. It's the universe saying, the moment you're prepared, the door opens. B. Why people block it. Impatience is the thief of alignment. We demand now what we are not yet ready to sustain. We obsess over when instead of how I'm becoming. This blocks the flow because urgency carries the energy of lack. C. How to shift into alignment. Trust the process. Prepare yourself as if the blessing is already yours. Speak life over your waiting season. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Your word is your wand. Use it to affirm readiness, not frustration." I now align with divine timing. I now align with divine timing. I trust the unfolding of my life. I trust the unfolding of my life. Everything arrives exactly when I'm ready. Everything arrives exactly when I'm ready. My waiting is filled with preparation and peace. My waiting is filled with preparation and peace. There was a man who wanted a business to succeed so badly, he pushed before the foundation was ready. His plans crumbled, not because he was unworthy, but because the timing wasn't ripe. Months later, an opportunity arose with partners, resources, and clarity he couldn't have dreamed of before. Looking back, he realized the delay wasn't punishment, it was protection. You don't lose what's meant for you. You only meet it at the wrong time, or the right time. The delay is not the denial, it's the design. I've seen too many people give up right before the miracle. You think the silence means the answer is no, but the silence is where the preparation happens. It's the soil under the surface where the seed is breaking open. The question is not when will it come. The real question is, will I be ready when it does? You can force a door open before it's meant to unlock, but what's behind it will collapse in your hands. Or you can prepare yourself so fully that when the door swings wide, you walk through with confidence, equipped to hold the blessing. You are not waiting, you are ripening. You've been told your desire is too big, too far, too unrealistic. And you've begun to wonder, maybe they're right, maybe you should lower your expectations to something safe. But here's the truth. Shrinking your dream will not make it come faster, it will only make you miserable when it arrives. Your dream was not placed in you to torment you, it was placed in you as a preview of your destiny. The promise is this: when you live by the law of expansion, life will meet you at the size of your belief. The divine law here is the law of expansion. What it is. This law states that your outer world grows in proportion to your inner vision. You cannot live bigger than you believe. The universe will only fill the space you create. B. Why people block it. Fear of disappointment. We keep our goals small so we can handle the pain if they don't happen. This creates a ceiling on our reality. Our faith never outgrows our fear. C. How to shift into alignment. Stretch your visions. Speak as if you already occupy the space you desire. Florence said, "Your word is your wand, so speak on the scale of the life you want, not the life you're settling for." I now expand into my fullest potential. I welcome bigger blessings with open hands. I welcome bigger blessings with open hands. My life grows as my faith grows. My life grows as my faith grows. I create space for miracles to manifest. I create space for miracles to manifest. There was a woman who kept asking for just enough money to pay bills, just enough time to rest, and that's all she ever got. Enough to survive. Never enough to thrive. One day she shifted her prayer. She asked for more than enough, for overflow, for abundance that spilled into others' lives. Within months her opportunities multiplied. She didn't get lucky. She got aligned. If your dream feels too big, it's because your current self isn't ready to hold it, but your future self is. Grow into her. Your reality will never outgrow your faith. I want you to remember this. Small prayers create small lives. You are not here to scrape by on leftovers from the table of life. You are here to feed. The dream in your heart is a divine contract. It's the universe saying, if you will grow, I will give. Stop negotiating yourself down to fit inside the box of other people's fears. Stop calling it being realistic when it's really being afraid. Your comfort zone is not your destiny. Stretch, risk, expand, because life will only pour into the container you give it, and right now you are being asked to bring a bigger cup. You've been asking for change, but you still wake up in the same room, facing the same problems, feeling the same weight in your chest. You've repeated the affirmations, tried to stay positive, but deep down you keep wondering why hasn't it shifted yet? And here's the question that might stop you in your tracks. What if it's not your circumstances holding you back, but your inner agreement with lack? You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are simply operating under the wrong contract, and the moment you rewrite it, life will have no choice but to follow your new terms. The promise is this: when you align with the law of assumption, the world will rearrange to match the identity you claim. The law of assumption is simple, yet radical. What it is, it's the principle that you don't get what you want, you get what you assume to be true. Your outer life is simply your inner belief system, written in 3D. B. Why people block it. Most people assume from fear. They prepare for disappointment, just in case. They rehearse worst-case scenarios in their mind, so their reality faithfully delivers them. They speak about blessings while secretly expecting the opposite. C. How to shift into alignment. Stop waiting for proof. Begin living, speaking, and deciding as if the thing you desire is already yours. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Your word is your wand, but your assumptions are the stage on which your words perform. Change your assumption, and your life must follow." I now assume my highest good is inevitable. I now assume my highest good is inevitable. Everything I desire is already on its way. Everything I desire is already on its way. I live from the identity of my answered prayer. My assumption creates my reality with ease. My assumption creates my reality with ease. She used to expect delays. She would think, something will probably go wrong, and it always did. But one day she heard a phrase that shook her. If you assume the delay, you schedule the delay. From that moment, she began to wake up each morning, assuming that ease, favor, and timing were already hers. Within weeks, her luck changed. But it wasn't luck, it was alignment. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your assumption. Your life is not waiting for proof, it's waiting for permission. I've watched too many people sabotage themselves before life even has a chance to bless them. They pray for abundance, but check their bank account expecting bad news. They speak about love, but approach relationships, expecting betrayal. You can't live in two frequencies at once. You must choose. The moment you stop being the person who's waiting for the thing, and become the person who already has the thing, reality will bend to meet you. You're not stuck, you're rehearsing a role you've outgrown. Rewrite the script. Step into the version of you who no longer waits for proof, because the proof is them. And maybe you've been trying to be strong, but inside your spirit is tired. Every closed door feels like proof that you're behind, unloved, or unworthy. You watch other people succeed faster and think, what's wrong with me? But here's the truth, nothing is wrong with you. You've simply been fighting life instead of flowing with it. And there's a law that will free you from the exhausting hustle. It's the law of non-resistance. The promise is this: when you stop pushing against the current, you will find the river is already carrying you exactly where you're meant to go. The law of non-resistance is a spiritual shortcut. What it is, it's the principle that what you resist persists, and what you allow flows through and out of your life with ease. Instead of reacting with fear, you remain in peace, trusting that the divine will handle the rearranging. Why people block it? Resistance feels like control, and control feels safe. We think if we push hard enough, we can force life into submission. But this tight grip creates tension, and tension blocks the very good we're chasing. C. How to shift into alignment. Release the mental struggle. When a challenge arises, instead of resisting, ask, how can I flow with this, and still stay in faith? Florence Scovel Shinn said, I do not resist the situation, I put it in the hands of infinite love and wisdom. I release resistance, and welcome ease. I release resistance, and welcome ease. I trust life to lead me to my highest good. I trust life to lead me to my highest good. Challenges are simply pathways to blessings. Challenges are simply pathways to blessings. I flow with the divine current of abundance. I flow with the divine current of abundance. He lost a major client overnight. Panic rose in his chest, but instead of scrambling, he remembered the law. He released the grip, refused to resist, and told himself, if this is gone, it means something better is coming. Within a month, he landed a contract that doubled his income. The loss was just the universe clearing space. You don't need to fight your way to the top. You need to flow your way there. When you stop resisting, you start receiving. I'm telling you this because I know what it's like to feel like the only way forward is to push harder. I used to fight every obstacle like it was proof I was failing. But the moment I stopped taking every problem personally and started seeing them as divine detours, life shifted. Resistance drains your power. Surrender directs it. You think surrender means losing control, but surrender is you saying, I trust the divine to write the scene better than I can. And every single time, the rewrite is better than what you imagine. You've spent too long waiting for a sign when the truth is, the sign is you. You've carried the weight of unfulfilled dreams, convinced you needed more proof. More certainty, more time, but life doesn't reward the one who waits. It rewards the one who decides. Every delay you've accepted has been a quiet agreement with lack. Every moment you've resisted has been a dam against your own river of blessings. This is your moment to break the agreement. Assume your highest good is inevitable. Stop wrestling with life and start flowing with it. The version of you who already has the love, the abundance, the peace, that version is available right now. Not after the next course. Not after the next miracle. Now. If you don't choose it, you'll keep replaying the same year for the rest of your life and calling it progress. But if you do, if you step into alignment and refuse to resist, everything will shift faster than you've dared to imagine. So here's the call. Don't just nod at this truth. Live it. Speak today like you're already answered. Walk today like you're already crowned. Love today like nothing can be taken from you. Your life is waiting for you to start acting like it's already yours. Stop waiting for the door to open. Be the one who walks through it without knocking.